folks. It's time to kick it old school. Yeah.
Rodg.
It's
that time of year, Rodg.
Yes.
Time for brackets. Time for basketball. What we gonna say? Time for the Royal Rumble. That's
I was about to say what, March? I mean, what, St. Patty's Day just happened? Like, what type of year are we talking about? But yes. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's gonna happen way more.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on today. We got a very, very special guest who's gonna school us in all sorts of stuff. But first, how are you doing, Rodg? How are the kids doing?
Hey, Herb, I appreciate that. Like, you asked me.
I don't really care. That's just the intro. So, all right, it's time to get into the show, and we'll say hello to a couple people, and then we'll bring on our guests. What's up? Roll Tide, the cat. Roll Tide to Lady Alpha.
Good evening, the Alpha Pool. We appreciate y'all for joining us.
Yes, 10 away from 300.
10 away from 300.
Everybody who has joined,
supported us along the way.
Supported us. Yep, we need 10 more subscribers. Get us to 300.
Yes.
We'll bring up that one in a minute when we bring on our guests.
The winner will get a box of tissues. All right.
And if they're Rodgers, they'll use tissues. So, yeah. Big Mike in the house. Do people know that we're contractually obligated to mention how great Mike is every week?
They do now. Mike, we appreciate you,
man. Appreciate you. Hope you're feeling better this week.
Yes. Carol is in the building.
I miss Carol. Yep, our favorite Georgia Bulldog. Carol is in the house.
Carol, thank you for joining us. And King. Is it pronounced Kinafi or what? Let me know about that.
His name's actually Kyle, so I've heard him call that because I keep calling him Kinafi.
Maybe Kinafi's the last name, but I just call him King. We appreciate you for joining us, man.
Yes, sir. Came over from the Bama Standard, called us there, and then he joined us here, man. Appreciate you, sir. Yep. All right, Rodg.
Checks in the mail. Yeah.
So for our guest tonight, Rodg, very, very special guest, Rodg. Jeanne Broom. She was the lead recruiter to bring him to Auburn.
I knew it.
She's one of them.
I knew it.
Bruce Pearl calls her up every Sunday, and they go over game film from the last week, and then they plan stuff for this week.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. And Auburn's motto for this tournament: win one for Sadie.
Does everybody else know that?
I mean, it might be breaking news tonight, but Sadie, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
We're doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. We don't
out of everything that Herb just said, are any of those somewhat accurate?
100%, all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just need to win one for me.
I'm looking for those win one for Sadie t-shirts in the stand. I'll be watching.
I'm buying one.
And who is this guest that we have in here tonight that's supporting you?
Oh, that's my dad, Big War Eagle.
Appreciate you, sir. We can't say what Sadie just said, but we appreciate you for joining us.
Yep. Hey, and he also subscribed today, so we definitely
thank you. We appreciate that, sir.
There goes. So we did have to tease everybody with a little bit of football news first before we kind of get into the full brackets. And we talked about this a little bit before. Sadie, we talked about it right before we got on here. Everybody kind of canceling spring games, moving off of spring games. How would you feel if Auburn went the cancel spring games route and went into skills challenges or whatever they were going to do instead?
Fine by me. I pay zero attention to the spring game. Don't go. It doesn't do anything for me. People think it's like a tease. I mean, I guess it's like a glorified practice.
Yeah.
And the fans can come and they over speculate everything. And
no,
I mean, it's ridiculous. Deion Sanders said yesterday that he would like to play, which we've been talking about for a long time. Another team. So
Syracuse
stepped into the NFL model.
I mean, that's what basketball does. They do expedition games and they play like bottom level teams to like work out the kinks. So let's go do that.
Yep. I mean, the best word she used was over speculation, which is what we do, of course, in Alabama. Every time we see somebody drop a pass during spring game, we're like, oh, man, who is this guy? Oh, man, our offense isn't going to click this. Oh, man, it's just going to look so bad. That's what we do every A-Day. So that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I agree.
Who was it? Ajayi Hall. He became a star in our spring game,
God.
and now he's on the
then
transfer portal for like 3
like,
years.
Wait, is he still at Central
Where
Florida?
is he now? He went to Texas
in
A&M.
California. He went to
Texas, and
he
then
got
he
in
went
trouble
to
in
another
Texas.
school that he didn't play at.
Yeah, I think he's in California somewhere.
Randomly this past year, he posted on Twitter, "Hey, I'm still in the portal." So,
Okay.
yes.
Sounds like Tony Mitchell stuff.
Yeah.
So who knows?
And Rod, you'd be okay with the same thing? You don't care if they...
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with it. I mean, I watch all of them on TV. I've watched pretty much every single year. But I mean, to Sadie's point, like, it's not going to hurt my feelings if it's not there. I'm more focused on them still doing things, at least for the fans, having autograph signings, things like that, getting to meet people, meet the fans, and things of that nature. But if they cancel the game, it's not going to kill us. Just do something else in place of it. Still have something out there for everybody else. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. My thing about it is I do enjoy the game, especially for us this last year. We had a coaching change, so he kind of needed that game to build some excitement.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, you watch everything, you over-speculate everything, you over-analyze every single thing that comes out of it. We have some friends coming into town for it, so they're like, Herb, even if there's no game, you're going to come over. I'll go over for that. But as far as driving to watch a skills challenge, like, I just can't see myself. And I'm only an hour away. I can't see myself traveling more than that. If it was even a 2 hour, I'd go to watch a 5-on-5 basketball game. I think I'm good. So, or even a flag football game. So not really caring about that. I did have one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I'm curious because I feel like it's too late now in the game for them to change too much. I feel like next year is when we'll really see some changes throughout college.
Yeah. And I say that because our DeBoer came out and said we're changing ours. So we'll see. I do think.
Yeah, but he hasn't really said, ever since that statement, he hasn't really said what modifications are really going to take place, though.
No.
He's just kind of like.
People have already bought tickets for this kind of stuff, I feel like. So it could really upset some alumni boosters if they do too much craziness. Yeah. Don't upset the people that are paying the NIL.
That's true.
So.
That's true.
Definitely
That's
not.
true.
Well, what do y'all think about one of the reasons why people are getting off it because they think that people are trying to poach their players? We'll start with you, Sadie. What do you think about that part of it?
I mean, that's probably accurate. I mean, they're poaching left and right. I mean, it's going to happen, but it doesn't matter. It's going to happen regardless. So I think it's losing interest in the fans. The attendance levels are going down. Also, being in April, I can't tell you how many of them got rain delayed or just all kinds of stuff has happened with weather. And then with Auburn last year, it rained that morning, and it's just not as eventful, as exciting as it used to be, and I think it's losing its steam. And so DeBoer and all the other coaches are trying to get together. What can we do to bring it back? They got to figure out something because it's still money. Fans still come to towns. Tuscaloosa still benefits from it. Auburn still benefits from it. So they've got to figure something else out. But I feel like the poaching players is going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was mine. I think the less games that are on TV is what affects that. Like, Alabama is not going to be on TV.
Not televised, which sucks for me.
Yeah. But I think as far as your poaching, I think you're going to get less of that. After that.
Yeah, but that's going to happen.
I agreed with Carol's on this. That's the reason why I went last year. And then they changed up the way they scored it. So it was kind of weird. And
I think that's kind of why I wanted to see something on TV this year, because we do have a QB battle going into spring, and I kind of wanted to see all three of them kind of throw the football around, even though I kind of have an idea of who I think is going to start, but that's a whole other story. But as far as poaching players, that's going to happen regardless of whether you have a game or not. There's people out there who probably recruited some of the players on your team, and they're still going to poach them regardless of the rules or whatever else you can do via social media. So that's going to happen anyway. They don't need to see you go out there and catch a few passes to say, yeah, we really want to go after this guy. They're going to go after you anyway. So
that's what I think. If you wait until the spring in a spring game and that's when the guy jumps for you like that, I feel like you did that all last year. You did that in the fall, or you have all their high school tape. I can't imagine. And if you do poach people, like I said, Ajayi Hall, if you do start poaching people based off of their spring game, I think you're just going to be disappointed.
So,
completely.
And a lot of people, I think,
coach Peyton Thorne.
Yeah. True. And I think a lot of people at Colorado used it, was it last year, as kind of a jumping off point. They played in the spring game and then they jumped in the portal right after.
Yeah.
So maybe it works more for the players. So I don't know. So I did want to as we start to transition into it, why, like, just from being around, you see way more into basketball than football. What kind of sparks that?
Have you seen our football team?
Yeah, we saw them.
I used to be really into football too.
So around what
nothing but a
period?
Disappointment.
When did you start losing interest in football? If you did,
I haven't lost interest in football because come August, I'm going to be ready because I'm going to have my high hopes up here, and after about 4 games, they've been shattered.
Yeah.
So I got to have all high expectations going into summer, but I mean, Brian Harsin ruined it. I mean, he just kind of like that debacle kind of like took a step back, and Auburn basketball took a step forward.
Right.
So I just got more invested in that. So, but that could change. Hey, I've got expectations again this year. Peyton Thorne's gone finally. It feels like he was there for 10 years and it was only there 2 years. But I feel like ask me in August and I'll be like, oh my God, we're going to go undefeated.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, that's every fan base, though, right? You always got to start off with a little hope. But the Peyton Thorne thing was weird because it's almost like he was Hugh Freeze's son, and it was just gonna like stick with him no matter what. I didn't understand that one at all. A lot of people thought that would end up getting him fired. But what do you think of Hugh Freeze? Are you still happy with the hire?
One more year. One more year to like figure this out. I mean, he's on borrowed time, and I know that's crazy going into year 3, but he got, this is SEC. We don't have time. We can't go with 6 wins, 5 wins. Like, that's ridiculous. He's got to win minimum 7, but impressive wins. You can't keep losing Alabama and Georgia because that's what makes like a lot of the fans like me just so disappointed. Like, we're not competitive, or we were competitive and then we lose. I went to 2 games last year and watched us fall apart, and it's just sucks the life out of you. So they've got to turn it around. I don't even know who would go get, but I think that some people are going to be fed up if he doesn't win a minimum of 7 wins, and it's got to be the right wins. He's got to be Auburn. I mean, he's got to be Georgia or Alabama.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's what kept. Oh, go ahead, Raj. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, you answered my question. My next question was, what are your exact expectations record-wise? But I'm assuming 7-5, and then whatever bowl game comes your way. So
yeah, we have to win 8 games with the bowl game.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you beat Alabama at home, you save yourself a lot, especially if that was his 7th win. I think it would carry him. But if we lose to Alabama and Georgia again, he's gone. Yeah. End story. Like, I'm tired of losing.
Yeah. Well, no, it's funny you say that because I think that's how Gus stuck around so long. Even when his teams were the worst, he would beat one of those 2 teams every year, and that bought him another year. And people laugh. I'm like, I'm on it. Like,
winning your rivalry game helps. Yeah. It does help.
Yeah.
100%. It will wash away a lot.
Yeah.
I guess that's who
my dad wants Rhett Lashley. Okay. SMU coach.
Yeah.
Hey, he was the OC for us.
Yeah. Well, we were asked the other night on Sunday night on Bama Standard Network which road game we feared the most. And it was, of course, Georgia, South Carolina, Auburn. The first person said South Carolina.
And Auburn.
I said Auburn. I said, first off, DeBoer's first trip going there. You've got a 5-game winning streak, so they're going to be game planning. I said, if Auburn's season hasn't gone the way they want, that's even a huge. It's like you said, if you're 6 wins going into that game is even bigger.
Yep.
I said, if Alabama season's going the way they want, they've got a chance to knock them out or do whatever. I said, there's so much going to be on the line at the end of the year with that team. I said that is the game that scares me the most.
And just take a look at what happened the last 2 times we played at Jordan Hare. Those games literally came down to the last second, and that's what makes me nervous.
The last one.
And that's what I would say. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to bring that up like that, but I kind of did. But that's what makes me. Sorry about that, Sadie. Sorry about that. But that's what makes me most nervous is just playing in Jordan Hare and that type of atmosphere. So.
It's going to be crazy, especially for DeBoer's first time getting there. That's going to be nuts. So,
their fans will be there. That's not going to be a problem.
Oh, never.
The game planning needs to show up.
Yeah. And I think that's another reason why if you do move off your coach, I still think it's an attractive destination. You're still in the SEC. You still have plenty of resources and a fan base that's committed to it. So I think it's going to be fine. But to me, that's why there's just no excuse to be an SEC team and have aspirations and not get it stuff.
Yeah, we can't have a top 10 recruiting class and transfer class and then show this product on the field anymore. It's just not okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that transfer class is the reason why he's not going to get like 5 years to turn things around. That's what when you're in the transfer portal.
Game changer.
Yeah. Our coach, if he has a bad year next year, they're getting rid of him out of too. So you know what I mean? Like,
y'all are more ruthless than we are because it's just been so long.
Right.
I think he's got a short leash too.
Yeah, I don't get it. So our boy Kenneth said he hates Auburn. I guess because we didn't grow up in it, we don't hate Auburn. We're just, y'all are rivals in this.
We strongly dislike them.
Yeah, strongly dislike. But that's fair. Sadie, Auburn is now a basketball school. That's from Big Mike.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Our brother went to Auburn, son to Alabama. Yeah, I can't imagine that.
A lot of that.
Yep. You're similar. You're kind of in that situation, though, aren't you?
I mean, my husband's a Bama fan.
Shout out to your husband.
I can't tell you the last time we watched an Iron Bowl together.
Really?
The Iron Bowl of basketball they did.
Oh, now we'll watch that.
Yeah.
But football, that's a different story.
I couldn't do it. I could barely watch it like just by myself. I can't imagine inviting anybody around, much less Auburn. So,
yeah.
Like y'all will not get an invite for that game. No offense. We can hang out that night, but during the game, no, I got to do it. So. He said he grew up right next to them. So, and I did want to show Rodg. You want to talk about having somebody prepared for the show?
Oh my goodness! I see the water in her glass there. Her phone.
A lot of water. You got to stay hydrated.
You got to stay hydrated. Got to stay hydrated. Oh my God! The laptop, the little monitor over there. Is that a? Wow! Nice curtains in the background too. Sadie got prepared.
Yeah, she brought the curtains with her. Rodg.
Yeah, I know.
Oh. She's got a light. She's got 3 brackets that she did over there too as well. So we'll get right into all that.
Yeah.
So first thing that everybody was talking about coming into this tournament. Let's get that up here. Do you think the SEC deserved to have 14 teams in the tournament?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You see those rankings? Yeah. Now, Archie, they're a little on the fence, but yeah, absolutely.
Rodg, did you have any disagreements with any of them, or did you?
No, I'm fine with it. We've been the strongest conference in college basketball this year. Maybe we can make an argument maybe last year or whatever for the past several years, to be honest with you. And I think our conference and our strength of schedule and who we're playing in conference just speaks for volumes to what we're doing this year. So I'm perfectly fine with it. If you're one of the teams that just didn't make it in the tournament at all, say whatever you want. You're going to be on the outside looking in. Sorry for you. So I'm perfectly fine with 14 teams being in because these 14 teams can play with just about anybody else in the country. So I'm perfectly fine with it.
Do you expect any of the lower right? Well, I guess we'll get into our brackets in a minute.
Yeah.
So, I guess Texas, they're about to play here in a minute, right? And I guess, Sadie, you just found out who you guys are going to play.
It's North Carolina, I think.
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina and San Diego State. Okay.
Yeah.
So
they started
Texas tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we did just find out who we're about to play, though.
Yeah.
Rod said to fear. Are we putting that down for our first round loss or no?
I was just joking about that. I know Ryan Williams said that Alabama State was going to beat Auburn.
he got Alabama State right. He did pick them.
He did have to pick against Auburn for obvious reasons, but I'm not picking. I'm not picking Alabama State. Shout out to the Hornets, though. Good, congratulations on your win, but you got to play Auburn. It ain't gonna happen.
My brother's wife's an Alabama fan. My brother would even go visit the campus. Dang. I don't know if I would take it that, but I mean, I could see it though. In this Alabama, so Ryan Williams bracket, like you were just saying. So.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we need to get on into this. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's what we'll do. Real quickly with the SEC tournament, real quick, and then we'll move into the bracket. So I think we were kind of looking for that third rematch of Alabama versus Auburn, but I feel like both teams were a little bit knackered coming into the end of the season. And both bowing out a day early does not necessarily hurt their chances. What do you guys think about that? And I guess especially for y'all, you have the number one seed.
It doesn't. I think we just needed to win one to get that loss off that two losses off of us. But it sucks because you don't want to lose. But I mean, I wasn't completely shocked or disappointed. I mean, it happens. And we fought. So we fought to the end. So that was nice. And you could tell that some of the players were aching and hurting a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, the same as Bama, y'all lost Grant during the game. So that was a game changer.
That sucked.
Yeah. So y'all need him healthy. I know that I'm sure we'll get into this about what's going on with him, and he may not even play Friday. So So y'all just try. I mean, you just want to get your tournaments healthy, and that's. Right. I mean, we did for the most part, and y'all did for the most part. But Grant, let's see what happens.
Yeah,
I feel like we played our A++ game against Kentucky when we put a whooping on them, and then we turned around in less than 24 hours, and we just woke up and said, "You know what, guys, I'm tired. You know what? Let's." And we went out there. Phylon really didn't show up against Florida at all. I think he ended up with 3 points. They outbodied us again, kind of like they did when they came to Tuscaloosa earlier in the year. So kudos to Florida for winning. But it sucked because I really wanted to play Auburn again. I think that would have been really, really good for the conference to see like an Iron Bowl three-peat or whatever you want to call it in the championship game. But at the same time,
some of us call it a trilogy, Rodg, but that's
our trilogy, whatever you want to call it. But at least we get to, we lost, so we get to get some rest. And then for Grant Nelson, I guess the talks right now and the rumors are he might be ready to go Sunday. I don't think we'll need me personally, and we'll get into this with the brackets. I don't think we need him this weekend, but I do think we will need him for the Sweet 16 going forward because of the teams that we might play when that time comes. So I think we'll be all right this weekend without him.
Yeah, I think that's dead on. If you tell me I have no Grant Nelson for the whole tournament, I'm not picking us probably past the Sweet 16.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just.
And some people in Bama Nation will be like, "Come on, you're a Bama." I'm like, I'm a Bama fan, but I'm being realistic. Without our leading shot blocker, we're not going to beat some of these big man teams.
No.
Yeah.
No. So, a couple narratives coming out of these tournaments. One, do y'all agree or disagree? Is Florida the best team in the country right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're playing like the best team in the
Clayton
country.
Jr.
Yeah, he was on. He killed us. Good Lord. And their bigs are really, really helping out. Their bigs can shoot threes too. They're playing like the absolute best team in the country.
They scare me.
Yeah, they do too. I agree. And you've heard it just about on every single one. I think Vital and Jay Bilas both did their brackets. They both had, did Vital have Duke? But I think they both had Florida versus Duke.
If you go,
in the final.
I think several of the pundits picked Florida to win the whole thing. It was a few people.
Yeah.
Which could not be in their favor because they're being really hyped up right now. So
Yep.
And that's what keeps me from wanting to put them in too many brackets because it is everywhere. But they are
exactly.
You got to be careful.
No. So having said that, Sadie, did Auburn still deserve the overall number one seed?
Yeah, full body of work, most quad ones in history. So we sputtered at the end a little bit, but I think you look back at what we did in November, December, and January. We beat Purdue, Iowa State, played Duke at home and almost beat them. I know there's a lot of neutral in the Maui tournament. I mean, we beat Bama and Coleman. I mean, that's just like the stuff that we did.
Won the SEC regular season.
Yeah, I mean, and you could tell a difference once we did that, how we our energy levels looked a little off. I'm not making excuses. We shouldn't have lost at home to Alabama in overtime. That's just my opinion. But
that was a good game. I remember.
Yeah, it was a great game, but we shouldn't have lost like that. But you could tell once we clinched, there was less urgency.
Yeah. You can't blame. Everyone's human, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard to get up for that many games.
Yeah, when you have 2 games left and you're like, it doesn't affect anything you do. That's tough.
Yeah.
And we'll really know a lot on Thursday. Who's showing up? Which Auburn teams coming through? Who's going to be there? I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't. I don't know what the spread's going to be, but we should cover the spread.
Should be out by now, shouldn't it? Or is it
I haven't looked.
Okay.
But there's no reason why we shouldn't do all the things that we need to do.
Yeah. Who should be the player of the year? Cooper Flagg or Jeanne Broom?
That's going to be interesting. It depends on. I feel like some of it's going to depend on what happens in the tournament. They don't announce it until April.
Right. Who are you picking though? Who should win it in your opinion?
Well, Janai.
Duh.
But look at the tournament. Look at the level of talent he's played against versus Cooper. I mean, Cooper's phenomenal. He's the number one.
I knew you're falling right into Herb's hands. I knew it. I knew it. Oh my gosh!
Make your case for Jeanne Broom.
Okay,
we said we were gonna do. Oh my gosh!
Duke is good. Duke is scary. I need to see what they can do against some different level competition. I mean, ACC got 3 teams in: Clemson, Louisville. But I mean, of course, I'm going to go for the Auburn guy. I mean, if the competition was different and he was doing this against the same level of competition in Auburn, it would probably be Cooper Flagg. But because of the competition, and the SEC got 14 teams in, and did you see the stats that came out of what Janai did against Tennessee, Bama, Kentucky? I mean, it's just insane what he was doing against this level of competition. But the tournament, who's ready to stand up and who's not, and what's Cooper's health? So we'll see.
I think he will be.
Raj, hold on. This is my.
She said health. She said health, right?
I know. No, but I'm saying I'm debating her.
Cooper
Flagg.
How healthy he is going to be interesting. And because everyone knows he has the bum ankle, what are they going to, I mean, just like in football, they go after that. Yeah, they did against Janai when he had a shirt. I mean, you could see it.
Yeah. I think the thing for Cooper Flagg is he can't help being in the ACC that in a down year, because he did pick the ACC, and traditionally they are one of the best conferences. He was probably one of the most exciting players this year. I think way more athletic. I know we're not going on, potential, but going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. And because he's a Duke guy and he's smart, he's not even hurt. He just decided to sit out of the ACC tournament just to get a little bit more rest, because Johnny Broom is still a little banged up and he's dragging that leg around out there. Cooper Flagg decided, you know what, I'm going to sit out. I'm going to chill. I'm going to get my rest, and I'm going to be the number 1 pick, and I'm going to lead Duke to a title. So I think everything you've seen, every highlight, the way he leads the team, having probably the best team and still playing the best at the end of the year, I got to give it to Cooper Flagg for player of the year.
He's probably going to win. So
I feel like he's just like the ACC darling, and he's getting all the attention for that. And then I guess the fact that go ahead, Herb.
No, I was going to say he went to a basketball school and picked the best conference, and he wasn't shying away from competition. And maybe it's not even that the ACC was bad. Maybe this Cooper Flagg made the whole league look bad. So
the ACC just had a doubt.
I'm just saying.
Did you watch any of the games?
He destroyed all of them.
They tried to hype up those ACC or the Duke UNC matchups like it was just the best thing since sliced bread, like they do every year, and it just wasn't the same. Come on now.
The last one was the best one, and that lane violation is brutal.
Oh my gosh.
And we'll talk about North Carolina in a second, but we got to put a capper on the. I was going to let Rodg judge, but he's going to vote against me. We know. So as always, we're going to go to an impartial third-party judge.
Oh my!
Judge don't count.
Sadie, you're not going to win. I'm just letting you know.
I love you, and I'm sorry, but Herb won this debate.
Whatever.
Wait, where's Tommy sleeping at tonight?
That's undecided. Maybe the floor.
Well, I mean,
hey, Tommy, go jump in the pool now.
You may want to get in the hot tub.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I would expect nothing less.
It was a good try, though. It was a good try. This is why we go to the impartial third-party judge, though, because they always
impartial.
Yeah, Sadie, the third judge is never impartial.
Never.
We've been doing this for like 2 years. I always lose for some odd reason.
Always. Interesting.
So yeah. What's up, Randy?
Evening, Randy. Thank you for joining us,
Randy's
sir.
trying to did I say flag? Yeah, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. So for either one of them. So
question right quick. Do you guys think
the ACC was awful this year?
Do you guys think the player of the year voting should be done before the tournament or just after it?
I like after the tournament. Sometimes I hate the way a lot of these other teams, I get that the MVP for NFL, like it's a regular season award, is great. But if my MVP gets me to the playoffs and it flames out every year, like I don't necessarily want to give that guy an MVP. You know, NBA the same way. And I know why they do it. Okay, so somebody can possibly win the MVP and then not make the playoffs, but I don't want to see that either. I would rather see the full body of work. You know, I mean, let's be honest. If Auburn loses the first round, 16-1 seed, and they lose, you'd be like, okay, he was, and you would be honest about that, right? So
no, he would deserve it.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. So and same with Duke. If they lost, or if he's 50% and they lose, I'm not giving you any credit for that. If you lose, you lose. So Had a new person. What's up, Nate? Though appreciate you jumping in. He said they want North Carolina. That was what. So North Carolina getting in with one quad win. They're like they played a lot of games. I'm like, okay, but they lost a lot. But
you know what? This wouldn't even be an argument had they not had that lane violation and they beat Duke. They would have just been in anyway.
So, even the lane violation was just to get you to overtime. Yeah, they really wouldn't have this though. Big controversy if the president of the committee or whatever, the chairman of the committee wasn't North Carolina. So was it a North Carolina alum or whatever? So that's
he didn't get $100,000 bonus for them getting in.
So
West Virginia.
And I agree on this one. So and Carol I don't know if I put it up there. She will go into it with Georgia, but she's a Georgia fan. She said she doesn't think they'll be in the tournament for long, but she's happy that they made it. So
don't they play Gonzaga?
Yeah.
Woo!
I picked
I got Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I think I do as well. So let's go ahead and start looking at our bracket since we hit this point.
Which one you want? My fun one that I hope is a death.
See, that's the thing. I did a rough draft for right now because, like, after tonight and tomorrow, then I'll finalize everything. But this is just rough. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but one thing that we said. They said West Virginia is suing the tournament committee for not making it.
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter too.
Hilarious. That could be every year though. Like, I'm sorry, but
yeah, but if there's like 64 teams in
the
tournament and you didn't make it, you're like the 69th team. Like, come on, just stop complaining. Okay, you lost some games you shouldn't have lost. Just get over it.
Yeah, that was Texas A&M a couple years ago.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you had a full body of work to go. Do I think you should have been over North Carolina? Of course, but do I think that either one of y'all was going to win the whole thing? No. So
no.
I think you'd be okay. All right, so what do we got there? We got to take Auburn, right? First game, of course.
Do we have to? Okay, Sadie, I'm sorry.
I mean, Rod, you do whatever you want.
Yeah,
I already mentioned
out early.
I already mentioned it early that I said Alabama State's not beating Auburn. So yes, we have Auburn.
Louisville and Creighton. What are you guys thinking here?
Ooh, this is interesting. This is very interesting.
This is a good one. I'm gonna ride with Louisville on this one.
Me too.
I can see it going either way.
I'm glad you brought up brackets, Randy. I'm personally sending you an invitation to do our bracket challenge. Yeah. And
I've been doing one since I was like in high school. I don't remember when I didn't do one.
Yeah.
I remember doing one every year, but I don't. The first weekend, I've always lost at least one of my Final Four teams.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So you can follow my bracket and know what not to do. Louisville and Creighton. So what do you think, Sadie, about the whole, if Louisville does win this thing, it's basically a home game against Auburn second round?
We were the same way 2 years ago when Houston had to come here and it didn't do us any favors. We lost that in the second half. It doesn't matter because it could help propel you in the first half. Yeah. I mean, momentum and drill it, the crowd noise, all that great stuff. That's what happened here. But then the free throws called out with us and we free throws for some reason. So we lost, by 10, I think, and we were up at halftime. So, I mean, I understand the debate because we're the number 1 overall seed. So that part sucks. But this is the tournament. You want to be the best?
Yeah.
Play the best, you're going to win. So bring me Louisville with the home crowd. We're really good on the road and in neutral sites anyway. 2 of our worst games were at home, which is unusual for us anyway. So I think that the matchup's very interesting with Creighton and Louisville. Louisville, one of their players has been hurt, but he's supposed to be back.
Back for the time. Yep.
I'm very interested because of the ACC and Louisville, the competition they played against. Creighton's had a down year based on expectations, in my opinion. But I think Auburn could beat either one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I think I would. I think I would go Louisville and then go Auburn, Rodg, unless – now, I will say this. If I was going to do an upset bracket, this is the part where I'd pick.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
if I was going to do one of my crazy ones, this is the spot I would go at.
Hey, as an Auburn fan, nothing surprises me.
You sound like, so when we had our get together, half the Auburn fans that were here were trying not to get too excited because of that reason. They're like, I just expected to let me down at some point.
Yeah.
Rod, do you have anything different with those two, Louisville?
No, I got Auburn beating Alabama State, then Auburn beating Louisville.
Okay. So your bottom half of it. This is where I've seen the several different upsets with UC San Diego and Michigan.
I think Michigan's going to win.
I picked UC San Diego for my 12-5. I went in.
We'll give it Michigan for this point, but Raj, I think that's an excellent one as well.
No, I mean it could happen.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of them. Both Carol and Randy are out on brackets. Randy, I guess I understand that being in a newsroom, getting it for you, but I'm always going to fill out a bracket, and I'm always going to be disappointed very early in it. So
it's so much fun. Just rip it up.
So as an Auburn fan, are you going with Yale in the next game?
Oh yeah, I want the rematch. Let's go.
What now?
I don't want to play Texas A&M again.
Texas A&M.
Buzz has our number.
I put Yale down here just for the heck of it, so I'm going to stick with what I wrote. But after I do a little more research tonight and tomorrow, I might change it. But
okay, let me tell you about Yale. Texas A&M is one of the best rebounding teams in the nation offensively because they don't make any shots. So they just constantly get their own rebounds. And they can't shoot free throws either. So it's going to be very interesting. It wouldn't shock me if Yale pulled another upset.
Right.
But Texas A&M is gritty. They're dirty. They're going to get down and dirty with you too. So
and we luckily
that's what they did with us.
We got to play them when Wade Taylor was injured too. So we got
that's true.
Made it out with that one.
I think they've been waiting to try to get another shot at us too, kind of in the back of their mind. But
shoot, I mean, I'm sure Auburn wants another shot at them, but I'm good without it.
At the bottom, you got the Ole Miss and versus the game we're watching right now.
I got if North. I already told you Herb yesterday. I said if North Carolina wins tonight, I got them beating Ole Miss.
Really?
Yes.
We'll click it there for Rogers.
You gotta understand something. I do these.
Rogers' whole bracket though. This is all high seeds in this bracket, right?
Where are you looking at? I could barely.
No. Ole Miss is a higher seed.
Ole Miss is a higher seed, yeah.
No, I meant like as far as because he was like UC San Diego, Yale, and now UNC.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's not going to be forever though. That's just a few.
And you got Iowa State, Lipscomb. And I think Iowa State's got.
I got them winning the first game, but then with the point guard being out, I don't have them going too far.
Yeah, neither.
So we'll give you this right here, Raj. Marquette, New Mexico, Michigan State, Bryant.
This one's the Marquette, New Mexico is a very interesting game to me. Yep. I mean, Cam is he's good, but I don't know, something about New Mexico.
I picked New Mexico.
That's a toss up.
Yeah.
We'll give it to
But I definitely have Michigan State.
Michigan State's been looking good, so I definitely pulled them. And then I have them beating New Mexico.
Yes.
And we're bringing Michigan State up to here too to close out this region.
I've got Michigan.
I got Michigan State
versus
against Auburn. Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Yep.
And
great minds think alike.
Yeah, Auburn's going to beat Michigan State because
Ryan, you got something to say?
I got Michigan State
you look
winning
at the history.
Yeah.
You read the history. Michigan State is they're gritty, but their offense is not in the top tier to even go past the Elite Eight. You have to. I mean, look at all kinds of historical records, and I know that's not always legitimate, but
yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I say I had to stop doing that at one point because none of that stuff ever mattered when it came to March Madness.
Well, if you 25-year history, the last 25 years, you've got to be like the top. 20-something in offense and defensive efficiency. Auburn's top 15 in both.
Yeah.
I mean, but Michigan State is not in offense. They're gonna try to wear you down on defense. I don't know. Tom Izzo does scare me.
Yep.
Tom Izzo March scary.
But he's facing off Bruce Pearl's a good coach too. So I don't know. That's if we get to that far, if both teams make it that far, it's gonna be a hell of a game.
Ooh.
So in this region, let's say it's no Auburn, no Michigan State. Who is y'all's third choice to come out of this region? Who do you think the team that would surprise you, or maybe not surprise you?
Not Auburn or Michigan State. Yeah. If Iowa State's point guard wasn't hurt, I was
I definitely
Iowa State. But
That's what I was too. That's what makes this region hard. It's like it's hard for me to. If I did this 5 times, it would be hard for me to say it's not Auburn versus Michigan State again. You know,
I would say it would either be like Texas A&M or Michigan.
See, both of those teams just don't like in the long run.
But I mean, I feel like they could get hot.
Right.
Yeah.
Either one of them could get hot and make a little run. Ole Miss is built to make a run too. I mean, they grinded out. They beat Tennessee. They beat Bama.
Hey,
they can do it.
You got an Ole Miss fan in here too.
That's my sister.
The whole what's up? Shout out to Sadie's sister.
The whole family in here. Shout out to Madeline.
Madeline.
Somebody already
Madeline, I'm sorry.
giving you
Madeline.
some stuff. Yeah, don't say it like that. Come on, Raj.
My sister went to so my sister went to Ole Miss. So they are definitely I could see them making a run if North Carolina, which North Carolina is winning.
Yep.
That would be a game. Ole Miss versus North Carolina would be really interesting. So yeah, that could be an interesting matchup right there. But I can see a couple of these teams getting hot. Hey, if Louisville or Creighton upset Auburn, they're going all the way.
I could see it. That's like I said, it's an interesting second round one right there.
Yeah.
I can
I have
see it.
UC San Diego playing Auburn.
Say what?
I said I still have UC San Diego playing Auburn.
You got some really high hopes. I don't think in the Final Four or in this week.
No, that's Sweet 16.
That's the Elite Eight. That's the Elite Eight. Yeah. Mike said he's going for the historic.
What's that?
I'm going for the historic Final Four. Ooh, SEC. That would be insane.
That would be, yes. You would never hear us stop talking about the SEC if that happened.
Yeah. And she's from Atlanta hosting. I considered like driving over there to check out some of that stuff. So
we're going. Let's go.
I'm down.
The Final Four is in San Antonio. It's about 4 hours from me.
I was trying to go, but
that brought up a side question for me. How many SEC teams need to make the Final Four for this season to be, either worth it or well regarded or however you want to put it? 2 for both of y'all.
Yep, 50%.
We need to win. We can't have this historic season. We haven't won since Kentucky won in 2012, and then Florida won back to back at 07, 08, somewhere around there. And we've had some teams like Bama made the Final Four last year.
That wasn't even the best Bama team, so that was weird. Yeah. So
the year before that, y'all were better.
Yeah.
But
and
y'all lost in the Sweet 16.
San Diego State, because Brandon Miller was like 3 for 17 or something like that. I was like, come on, bro.
I was actually on a job that night and driving back. I think an hour and a half drive back, listening to that game was the most maddening thing.
I just felt like that was our year because Brandon Miller, I still think he's might be one of the best players to play for University of Alabama. He just 1 year, he was just so awesome the whole year. But that one game, he was just ice cold, could not hit anything.
Jabari and Walker, and we lost to Miami. I mean, what? And we got blown out.
Yeah. It's tough. That's why this is we always talk about which one is tougher to win in football or basketball. And I say you can have the best team in basketball and get caught on one bad night and your whole usually in football for the most part in a lot of the game, your talent will win out until you get to the last ones, but you expect the teams that are up there. Basketball, some team that's been together for 3 years and has all these great plays and one guy gets hot and they knock you out of the tournament and then they're never heard of again. The guy's flipping burgers somewhere.
We talk about them for like the whole March Madness.
Yeah.
And that team that beat that 1 seed, but then it's like,
never
but
again.
All right. So what we got next?
We're going to the West or where we going to?
We'll go over to the East. How about the East?
Oh, yes.
So we're picking the Cooper Flags.
Yeah.
I got Duke. I got State.
I got
Baylor's
Baylor.
Baylor's not impressive to me. I've watched them play.
Are we heavy SEC bias in our picks? Are we really?
No, I've got some upsets down here.
Okay. Because I feel like I definitely am. I always lean that way, and then I have to kind of rethink about it. Go ahead, Ross.
But that's why I tried to make some adjustments to my bracket because when I first started doing this, I was so SEC biased and so SEC heavy. So I made some slight adjustments. And again, my bracket right here is going to change again after I do some more digging.
Yeah.
But
right
now I got
everybody you have until the first game on Thursday fill out your bracket.
Yeah,
So join our bracket challenge.
So Herb,
All
you
right,
have Mississippi State too?
Yeah, I got Mississippi State. I didn't care that much about this. So I don't spend a lot of time on the first round games if I don't think they're winning the second round game. And I think Duke is winning this one for sure. That's usually what I go with.
Yeah, I got Duke winning the next one. Then I have Oregon and Arizona.
Same.
I do too.
In Arizona.
Now Liberty can ball a little bit though.
Yeah.
Oregon is always their coach Dana Altman. He's never lost in the first round. So
that's a crazy.
That's a crazy stat. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw that on X today. I was like, well, that's wild. I spent a little bit too much time on Twitter, but that's
nothing wrong with that.
That's where I get all my information.
That's fine. I saw the stack of notes you had, so we're good there. BYU, VCU.
Okay, this is very interesting to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a toss-up.
I picked BYU, but again, I don't know. I was kind of stuck with this one. I just picked BYU just for the heck of it, to be honest.
Yeah, BYU's got a great offense. They definitely think VCU is going to challenge them.
I think VCU can win, though.
I agree with you. This will be one of the ones I spend time on because for me, I've got Wisconsin just because I don't think Montana has enough. But I'm taking BYU in the next round over Wisconsin if they.
I did too.
So Wisconsin just didn't impress. Like I thought their offense was a little better, and then it was a rock fight through the Big Ten tournament. I just kind of wasn't impressed by that last loss to Michigan. So
and this next little run will be good for BYU because they got AJ coming in next year, the number one player in the nation. So that's gonna really, really hype up the team.
Yeah.
Could you ever see your school doing that, paying that much for one player?
How much did they pay him again?
Wasn't it 12?
No,
some insane $1 million.
No, and we already knew, even though he made it clear, it's going to be a one and done anyway. And I don't, even with him coming, and he made the comment that he's going to try to get some other kids to come to BYU. I mean, I don't see them winning a national championship.
$7 million for one player,
That's crazy.
I see why. I can see why more in basketball than football is what I said. Just because one person can affect both sides of the court way more than one quarterback in football. You don't have to fill out the team as much. But
look at Rutgers. They had Ace.
That was going to be the one I mentioned. They've got two top 5 guys.
And
they didn't make the tournament. That is crazy. And Auburn was in on them. So wow.
That was going to be my first one. There's a lot. I mean, if you go look at mock drafts that Texas has one, like you said, Rutgers has 2. There's a lot of teams that aren't doing well.
Johnson,
Trey Johnson's legit, and I have Texas winning. We get there in a second.
Yep.
Okay.
Where are we at?
Oh, they play Illinois.
I've got St. Mary's.
I got St. Mary's and I got Bama. I'm taking Bama here regardless, but this is when we play BYU. If we don't have Grant Nelson, I think BYU takes this somehow.
Can't believe you said that.
BYU's long and lanky.
I heard
for purposes of clicking right here. Of course, I'm taking Bama because we're more of a Bama show. Is everybody taking Duke over Arizona? Rodg is taking Arizona.
Do they have? If Cooper's 100% healthy, yes, but he's not.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think Cooper's gonna be 100%.
Scrappy too.
I don't think Cooper's gonna be 100% until after the whole tournament's over. Going into Friday, Saturday, he'll be enough for them to get by these games. But I'm gonna pick Arizona. I'm gonna pick Arizona to beat Duke.
I like it. Is it weird that they put a number 1 and number 2 seed in the same bracket that have injury concerns going in? Or do you think they even thought about it when they did their bracket?
I don't think they really.
John.
I think they were. Oh, sorry, Say, go ahead.
I was just going to say he's already said Cooper was going to be going, so I feel like.
I think they were under the impression that both guys would be ready to go eventually. So. And both teams would make it out of the first weekend.
Mm-hmm. So I'm taking over on this part if we're picking Alabama for the purpose of this bracket, but I would totally understand if people do not. Let's get down to the West. I assume we always said Florida's our best team, so we got to.
Florida is going to murder them.
Yes. That's where our parents actually went. Yeah, Norfolk State.
Yeah, shout out to Norfolk State. Our parents are both alumni of Norfolk State.
So well, I hope
they're going to lose. They're going to lose, yeah.
I hope they put up a good fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what a good fight is against. Keep it close for the first 10 minutes. That's about it.
By the way,
must have
North
gained 2
Carolina
more.
is destroying San Diego State already.
Shout out to supportive husband. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, and 8 subscribers. I guess we've gained 2 more just since we've been on air.
Yeah.
So appreciate that for sure. Thank you. Like I said, thank you for coming on there. Yeah, San Diego State looks bad in this one. North Carolina kind of has to win this one though to justify the whole thing. They really
We have a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
UConn and Oklahoma. How far
UConn.
has UConn fallen?
I got UConn, yeah.
To get
UConn.
an 8 seed. Yep. Memphis, Colorado State.
Oh, this is
I got
interesting.
Colorado
Colorado State
State. I got
is
Colorado
hot.
State. I got
And
Colorado
Memphis
State.
struggles in the tourney. So
Yep,
I got Colorado
yep.
State too.
Sorry, I did that wrong. Colorado. Oh, really? Okay.
I got
Yeah.
Colorado State playing Maryland.
Yep, me too.
The Grand Canyon one wouldn't surprise me either, by the way. So for this part up here, we're doing Florida versus Maryland.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
I got
Really, Ross?
I got Florida
You got
versus
Colorado State? Okay, well they're gonna murder Colorado
So you riding
State.
that one all the way, huh?
Yep.
I actually had one of the podcasts I was listening to when this first came out made the argument for Maryland. They had Maryland making their Final Four.
Hey, they could
Hey,
get
that
streaky and yeah.
Yep. Bottom part, Missouri.
I got Drake.
Drake.
I got Missouri, and I'm not gonna lie. I did this.
How many
based
rapper
on-
jokes was made? Oh, this whole Drake. Is that what you're about to
Oh
do,
my
Rod?
God.
No, I
Drake
promise I
made
was
it
not gonna do
more.
that. I picked Missouri simply because of the way they played us, and I didn't really do too much digging into Drake, but I picked Missouri, and I have them.
Drake
playing
has lost
Texas
3
Tech.
games all year, I believe.
Well,
Not
3 years,
that
3
their
games
quality
in
is
one
the same.
rap battle, and so they're okay.
Oh
All
god!
right, so Texas Tech and
Texas Tech.
I got Tech.
Shout out to my little sister though. She went to UNC Wilmington for her master's.
Oh,
Nice.
shout out to little
Nice.
sister.
Shout out to little sis.
Yeah.
Who's just doing this?
Ooh,
Kansas
that
versus
game right
Arkansas?
there.
Which one? Arkansas and
Ooh,
Kansas.
they're both just like, what
Ugh.
happened to these 2 programs that
No.
it could go either way.
Wasn't Kansas a preseason number 1 or number 2?
Well, number 1, yeah.
Yeah, like, and they have fallen, man.
I picked
But
Arkansas.
Boogie's supposed to play,
Same, Rod.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go Arkansas. Yeah, St. John's for sure. Now Cal versus Patino.
Awesome
Ooh, the
game.
storylines.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie. My first one, I'm taking Arkansas.
I picked St. John's.
I'm taking St. John's because their
Oh, well,
defense is
well voted.
gonna.
Yeah.
Okay. Texas Tech for sure.
Yep. And I have
Yep.
Tech beating St. John's.
Yes, me too.
You take-
I
okay.
have Texas Tech yet.
In Florida.
I want Texas Tech to beat them, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I got Texas Tech in my Final Four. I did not.
You just said Florida is the best team in the country, and you got Texas
They are.
Tech coming out of this.
I didn't
I
tell
think
you what I
those are
wrote
ahead.
down. I didn't tell you what I wrote down.
Hey, in a bunch of my brackets, I have Texas
We'll
Tech.
keep
just
it up there
because
for
I-
right now, but Roger, I like that
Yeah.
pick. That could be interesting.
Hey,
Thank
it could
you.
happen.
All right, let's get through this last one, and we'll get our final picks out of here.
The Midwest for this one was
Houston.
kind of tricky.
Yeah, Zag.
Well,
I got Houston playing
Zag.
Gonzaga.
sorry,
Yeah,
Carol. Sorry, Randy.
It's going to take a lot. Newell's going to have a game of his life. McNeese is interesting.
Yep.
Nope.
Clemson has got a player out hurt. Not a big player, but that's an interesting game to me. But I still think Clemson will come through.
Yeah, I got
Dude, one of the
Clemson
guys on there tried to talk me into Clemson was the only team to beat Duke from the ACC, and they can make a run, and they had them in their Final Four because of that.
No.
I mean,
I
I've
was like-
I've heard other brackets have that, but that's not going to happen.
So,
I
You
got
going
High
Purdue?
Point.
high
I
point,
picked-
I like it.
I picked
Go ahead, Rod,
Purdue.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
picked Purdue.
You know Zach Edey's not there anymore, right?
I'm aware.
Okay.
I
Houston versus
realized,
Gonzaga.
I realized when we played them
Houston.
earlier this year.
I would love Gonzaga to win this
Clemson.
one, by the
I
way.
picked Gonzaga.
Rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do
We'll let
not
Sadie
see
have
that
the vote, but I
happening,
like that
but-
pick.
That's
That's going to be in one of my brackets for
I
sure.
told you I had to go.
Gonzaga
I had to
Houston.
change things up this year. I just had to really pick a lot more upsets as opposed to what I've been doing in
I like
previous
it.
years. So, but that's
All
a game
right.
I can see Houston winning though. So, but I'm gonna pick Gonzaga.
I
You taking
got
Houston over Clemson then if we do pick that one.
Oh, okay. I got the Zags beating Purdue.
Jeez, Rod. Rod said, I stopped paying attention to y'all 5 minutes ago.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Good.
The brackets are going to be all over the place. So
Yeah.
let's get this bottom half done, and we'll get our final four.
Texas?
Get on out of here.
Yeah, I have Texas beating.
I love that
sorry,
pick.
yeah.
I love that.
Illinois is. I have never seen a more bipolar team. They are
Yes.
high and low. Like did y'all see how they looked against Duke? Oh my
Yes.
god, they were
Yes.
bad. It depends on which team shows up, but I have Texas is ready for this grind.
I agree.
Yep.
With
I
the
agree.
SEC.
Yeah.
And I got my Troy Trojans upsetting Kentucky.
Especially if Butler's not back. That could be a tough game for sure.
He's back. They're saying he's going to play, but hey, let's go Trojans.
What do you think, Rod? Something different on those? Or
I picked Kentucky again. I don't know. I just picked Kentucky for the heck of it.
Ross, I got no reason.
Kentucky doesn't play defense, so we'll see what happens.
Tennessee versus UCLA?
No, I have Utah State beating UCLA. I don't trust UCLA.
I got Tennessee beating Utah State.
But I do have Tennessee beating them, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tennessee is out of all the top 4 teams that we just mentioned, Alabama. I know in the SEC. I know Alabama with Grant Nelson. We have questions. Tennessee is the one I expect to let me down.
They will let you down. They have never been to a Final Four, which is crazy.
I was doing the podcast at the job I was at. I was doing a podcast on Sunday night. Mm-hmm. And I'm in a break room of the place where I'm working at. And I get off the podcast, and the guy who was listening goes, "Oh, man." I was like, "Oh, it sounded good, man." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a Tennessee fan. I just expect them to let us down in the tournament." I'm like,
you took Auburn.
Yeah.
Let down.
But y'all went to a Final Four, and
we did.
A terrible call away from making the final game. So, sorry, I didn't want to bring that one up. But Tennessee, he was just like, and Bard, that's what he does in the tournament, man. He can get you through a regular season, but I just don't. I expect them. When I do a bracket, there's a great chance I'm gonna have UCLA and then UCLA beating Tennessee. So
I've got Texas.
Yep, I like that one.
And then I have Tennessee scrapping it out.
Tennessee versus Houston might be one of the worst games in the history of the tournament.
50-49.
Yes, you could probably go away for 10 minutes, come back, and it'll be the same. Go ahead, Raj. I'm sorry.
No, I said I have Tennessee versus Gonzaga.
Okay.
So you have a much better game than us.
Very loud. That's that could happen. Because Gonzaga's really good about disappointing people too, though. They've never won the tournament. So
for purposes of this, where are we going?
My Final Four?
Yep, Final Four. Let's read them up. You ladies first.
So I have Auburn, Texas Tech, Tennessee.
You say it.
Not Bama.
Oh God!
I would be so disappointed if you did pick Bama, though.
So who did you have? Duke.
I have in my fun bracket. I've got Arizona making a little run,
yeah.
But if not, it's Duke. It's Duke.
Yeah.
It's Duke.
A couple of ones. They were like, look, Caleb Love gets hot and carries Arizona, and they can make this.
It's possible, but if Duke
is he going to do that for 100%?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. But if Cooper's flag looks good 100% this weekend, or even looks, they're going to the Final Four.
I say just sit him till. I say sit him till Sunday.
I mean,
or whatever the second game is. So, but we'll see.
All right. So who y'all got? Auburn, Florida, Tennessee. Oh, the fun one. Ooh, all SEC Final Four.
I only have.
I just don't see. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. If I had to take two teams, if I had to take one team out, I'm taking Tennessee first, right?
Yes.
I'm taking two teams off of this one. Alabama's next. Florida would be the one that I would feel the most confident in out of these Final Four.
Me too.
About making theirs. Auburn, I just don't like anyone else in their bracket. I'm not a Michigan State fan, so it's hard for me to want to pick them. So I'd have to find a third team that I like.
Yeah.
So that's.
I think if we get our problem is getting past the second round. If we get past Louisville/Creighton, I'm not worried.
Yeah,
we'll be riding. We'll ride, but I don't know what it is about that second game that we just have problems. But this is very plausible. It would break the internet.
It would
if the SEC had 4 teams. Then
like I said, if we don't get 2, I feel it's a disappointment. But if we get just like Michigan, Well, wait, I don't hate them in football. So in football, they're irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
Basketball, I definitely don't like them. I haven't seen their softball team. But Mike's never wrong, so he might be honest. I have to go back and watch some tape to see how badly I usually talk about them. So this is reliable as a Ziploc bag with all. They just And yeah, Kat, that's honestly when I do my bracket, I'm never going to have Tennessee in the Final Four.
Me
I'll be
either.
100% honest. I'm not sure how I feel yet about Houston. I mean, they're here every year now,
We
and they're
played
almost
them.
at the same. You know,
They're good.
yep. But both Alabama and Auburn both beat them, so it's like,
Yep.
Hey, what if Auburn versus Alabama?
And the internet will if
Oh
you
my
have
God.
two traditional football schools,
We'll have to watch it alone.
Hold on. If that game happens, would you guys watch the game together?
no
No
not
way.
at all.
I'm watching by
gosh.
myself with
No,
nobody.
we got to end this.
So
We
I
have to end
can
this right now. If this
punch the
happens, Sadie and
screen.
Herb, if this happens, you guys have to watch the game together.
You just jinxed it to where it's never going to happen, Raj.
Yeah.
But
So
maybe
put
I
it
did.
in
Maybe
the-
I think
did.
I
Never.
would throw up if we lost to Bama in the national championship.
First off, if Alabama won a national championship, they'd shut the internet down. They'd call conspiracy. It would be, every call in that game would be looked at again.
Yeah.
They would be like a football school. No, they just would never do it. So I don't think they'd even let us play. So no. So, all right, give us your top two most likely choices to win this whole thing then for both of y'all. We'll start with you, Sadie.
Florida and Duke. I mean,
Duke?
real based on who's playing the best right now.
Yeah.
Florida and Duke. But look, we were playing way better at the end of the season last year. Look what happened. So it's like wash, you start fresh. Most teams have had 5-6 days off.
Right.
It's a changer. But the two hottest teams right now are Duke and Florida to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Raj, who are your two?
I mean, I echo that sentiment. That's without looking at the bracket that I created, because I don't have Florida or Duke making it to the Final Four. But just off the top of my head,
That's
they look
wild.
like the best two teams in the country right now. Florida peaked at the right time.
Yeah.
Duke won their conference without the best player in their last two games, so they look like the best two teams right now. But again, I don't have, which is crazy that I don't have either of them making it to the Final Four.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right, folks, we are going to end it.
What about
We
you,
do have-
Herb?
Yeah,
Huh?
you didn't say anything. You're just asking all the
You gotta
questions.
tell us.
I know that's what the host does. You ask all the
No,
questions,
you
and you
need
let
to
the
know who
talented
you think.
people
Who do
give
you
the
think?
answers. No, I mean, it's hard for me to get away from that one. Like I said, the only reason why I don't want to say Florida is because everyone is saying Florida. And when is the last time everyone says? But you can't argue. They've got the inside game. They've got the outside game. They're playing well right now. I mean, they went to both Alabama and Auburn and won. They won the SEC tournament. It doesn't matter your style. They play well, and they improved their defense over the course of from last year to this year. I mean, it's hard to go away from that Florida versus Duke. So I want to say if Houston doesn't do it this year, like when is it happening? Are you going to get to like the Elite Eight and Final Four and be good every year and just never get over the hump? Yeah. So it feels like this is one of those, and you probably don't fear Tennessee in your bracket. It's Gonzaga in the second round can be a little scary, but you probably feel like you can, get past everyone. So if it's not Houston this year, I don't know when you're doing it. So to go against y'all, I'm going to say you get an Auburn-Houston rematch.
Ooh.
You picked Auburn?
I'll take that. That will be fun. I mean,
But,
they beat us in the tournament 2 years ago.
Did they?
Yeah, in Birmingham.
Wow.
I went to the first game.
I thought that was in football. They beat y'all in Birmingham.
They probably did that too. Yeah.
Herb, I can't believe you picked Auburn. You sound like a bloody plunker.
Houston is the hole in it.
I had to throw my word in there.
Oh, I forgot about my word.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Barmy.
Barmy.
Oh, Barmy. That was Barmy.
Auburn and out. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Appreciate you, Mike.
I was gonna say there. I'll say it after the show.
Okay.
Right.
And I mentioned that one. Yeah, it would cause chaos in the state. Yes, if we were there.
Yeah.
It says for brother's house isn't divided enough. Yeah, I feel bad for any households that have to go through that. Right. I guess we're kind of running over on time, so we'll just stick you with one question of depth. Well, I'll give you two. Well, the first one is who is, unless it's Charles Barkley, you can name it two, your favorite Auburn basketball player of all time?
Ooh, of all time?
I'll give you two categories of all time and then off of this current team.
Oh, okay. Off this current team, I really love Denver Jones.
Okay.
Oh.
For some reason, I knew it wasn't going to be Jeanne Broom. So
Jeanne. I mean,
I like
he's the easy
Pettiford.
choice.
I like Pettiford. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, Tahad.
That kid
He's
could
good.
shoot.
Had Denver, you could tell he wasn't in the game against Texas A&M, the defense. He's known for his lockdown defense. So Denver Jones on my current team. Favorite, besides Charles Barkley, obviously. Yeah. Samir Dowdy. Oh, my God. I love me some Samir. Bryce Brown, Jared Harper. Those are some of the 18, 19 guys. Were some of my favorites. I was really, really sad when that season ended. I just love that team. I love those players.
Got it. All right, second question. We play a game on here we like to call Work, Play, Live, Ditch. Work, who are you working with for 40 hours a week? Live, who do you live next to? Who's your neighbor? Play, hey, who are you going out with Friday nights? And ditch, who when they call you is it going to voicemail? This might actually be an easy one for you though.
Okay. Might
be very, very easy. But we're gonna give you Herb, Rodg, Brittany, Tommy.
Ooh.
Okay, so who am I gonna ditch? I'm ditching Herb.
I already knew that was coming.
Me and Brittany are gonna play.
Okay.
Rodg, what was the other two?
Live.
And
work. Oh, I'm gonna work with Rodg and live with Tommy.
That was easy.
I feel like me and Rodg would have fun at work. I mean, he works at Dillard's. I worked at Dillard's.
We both work in retail.
Yeah, I think we would hee and ha real fun.
Yeah.
So next time
I'm not gonna lie, I would be the petty coworker though. Like if you come to work, I would like glue some stuff to your seats on there and be like, oh, did you spill your coffee? How did that magically happen? That type of stuff.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
And she actually picked you.
But she ditched Herb. I'm good with that.
Raj usually ditches me before I even get the question out. So
yeah. No.
I'm kind of used to it on this show. Well, Sadie, we appreciate you.
Yes,
we want to tell everybody where they can find you at and where you're going to be making your next appearances.
That's a good question. I will be living on Twitter/X if you need me. I will be. Oh, my name on Twitter is Booster Club Queen.
Whoa!
I don't know if y'all want that story.
I don't.
Yeah,
wait,
we need to know the story.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in a Twitter group. And it's me. I'm the only girl of a bunch of dudes. And all we talk is a bunch of sports. And that's where I get a lot of information. We talk other stuff besides sports. But I've been in the group for almost 3 years. And it started because of a podcast, Crane & Co. They're huge. They're with the Daily Wire. And they started this Booster Club group, Twitter back in...
Never.
I'm the only girl that's ever been in it. And so I'm known as the Booster Club Queen because I'm the queen of the group.
Are Bruce Pearl and Hugh Freeze in this Twitter group too?
They are not. We have sent out invitations, but they have not accepted. But the group is not just Auburn fans. It's Auburn, Bama, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Georgia. I mean, we have all. We don't have any Florida. But it's all over the place. Ole Miss, we don't have any state fans, but there's about 10 to 15 of us that chat all day, every day. Well, not all day, every day, but we chat, and especially when it comes down to like when football season's going on. Oh, they are.
I bet you it gets crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you saw the supportive husband said could have sworn you were going to ditch him, so he's happy.
No. But that's too easy.
I already knew who you were going to ditch. Yeah. Well, Carol picked Rodg last week as her favorite, so I get to be the neighbor.
Oh, Lord.
The official total on this show of people picking Rodg over me, I think, is about 17-2.
Oh, so, okay. Good tally.
All I'm good is in the debates. So
if y'all don't follow me on Twitter, though, follow me. I retweet everything.
I'm trying to find, you said Booster Club Queen?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
If y'all don't, if you don't see me, listen. The name of, Booster Club Queen at SMartin132.
We'll get it.
I'm an at.
Supporter. Yep, we appreciate him. He's actually supporting this, and he's in the house right now too. So you can say,
yes.
Tommy.
Oh God.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on there, Sadie, helping us break down the
Anytime.
We appreciate
I'll be back
you.
on for football season.
Looking forward
Can
to
we
it.
handle a show about football?
Yeah, in the early in the season for sure.
So
Before
the
it gets
preview we can
chaotic.
handle. I got you.
Yes.
Before anything goes.
Catch me in August.
How was it, Hennessy? I guess
King,
I
we
will probably
appreciate
see
you for joining
on
us, man.
Thursday, man. Yep, appreciate you jumping in and supporting us.
Oh, wasn't
What?
that cute?
Precious. You're next. Watch out.
No, I don't hear anybody coming down the steps, so it's too late for me. For the Herb and Rodg podcast, those of us who are unloved still love you guys. Have a wonderful night, and as always,
Roll Tide.
More